WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show is about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now, here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow. You know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. Sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro.
Good to be here on the show once again. Continuing that streak of not having to miss any.
Yes, and and to do that, we have taken a road trip once again. We are down at the MFPW Arena here at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey, gearing up for a huge event later tonight. And also joining us here, one of the official officials of the MFPW, one of the folks who makes the 3 count, John Guzzardo.
Well, hello.
Very, very bassy of you, yes.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, you know, like your intro track, I bring the bass. Don't know what to tell you.
I don't even know what to tell me, and I've been doing this for almost 7 years now.
Good deal.
Something like that. Gosh, where to start here?
Well, we do know what to tell you at this point, which is a big case that was decided last night.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll get John's take on this in a little bit as well. But the notable story over the course of the last roughly, 18 hours, I'd say, the Hulk Hogan trial. We've been talking about it ad nauseum for a while, and finally the verdict is in, but the jury is out. Cue the screaming guy from CSI Miami. No, okay, maybe not. Closing arguments in the Hulk Hogan lawsuit against Gawker Media, they occurred yesterday, and the jury in the trial awarded Hogan $115 million. Feel free to put the pinky on the corner of your mouth, as Dr. Evil would. The breakdown gives the Hulkster $55 million in economic damages and $60 million for emotional stress.
Wow.
To be completely honest, I'm glad that this case got settled in Hogan's favor, because that just does away with Gawker, and
does it?
Hopefully. I really don't like either party on either side. I can I guess argue both cases. No, I can only really argue Hogan's case, but I don't like either of them. So
you're just mad because Gawker didn't release a tape on you.
What?
Oh boy.
I'm just Mahoney busting.
Well,
anyway, Hogan's legal team saying in a statement, quote, "We're exceptionally happy with the verdict." There's a shock. Why wouldn't they be? They just got $115 million.
Mm-hmm.
"We think it represents a statement as to the public's disgust with the invasion of privacy disguised as journalism. The verdict says no more."
That's really what it comes down to with this whole case, is an invasion of privacy. All signs are pointing to the fact that Hogan did not know that this was being taped, and obviously we all know what he said in one of them, and it's still
based on the transcripts. Yeah,
but he did not know he was being taped, and if he was being taped, he most likely wouldn't have said what he said. And it all just goes back to where do you draw the line of invasion of privacy and what could have him, it just goes.
Yeah, where do you no longer? Where is it at a point where you no longer feel safe behind closed doors?
Exactly. It even goes back to, it ties back to like Donald Sterling and all. I'm not going to get into that. Most of us know what happened, but it's a lot along the lines of, do I agree?
This isn't Pro Basketball Weekly.
Yeah, I don't.
Nope.
I don't agree at any point with what Hogan said. All I am saying is it was an invasion of privacy.
And, well, even though it seems like this is over, there's a possibility that it won't, considering that Gawker issued a statement that they will appeal the case, claiming that key witnesses were left out, plus other...
in Gawker fashion, keeping things out until they really need it. and then live stream the trial.
I suppose so, including something that occurred not too long before the jury went to start the process of deliberation. Transcripts and other sealed documents that were unsealed yesterday afternoon, including some very graphic descriptions that I definitely won't get into on this program.
Oh, thank you.
I could only imagine.
You know what? I was going to say that might have to be a commercial break special. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't think
we even want to put that on Periscope.
Nope.
No, I'll tell you what. If you really want to know about it, go to the Daily Mail, the UK British news service, dailymail.co.uk, and it'll give you the story there, and you can see all of the salacious details of things that were unsealed that I'd definitely rather not get into. Well, I mean, I would, but I also like having a show.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's it's in a weird, why the heck do I care about this kind of way?
But
a lot like this show. No.
So that's not the only breaking news to come up this week. Obviously, we'll get into it in the show, but there was a unfortunate incident that happened on Raw this past Monday. That was
this past Monday on Raw, during his match with Chris Jericho, Neville suffering a fractured left ankle while delivering a baseball slide, of all things. Fortunately, his ankle injury won't require surgery. He'll be treated non-operatively with cast and crutches. Unfortunately, he won't be able to get a match at WrestleMania because the timetable to return to the ring is between 2 and 3 months.
And that's unfortunate because, he's really talented, and he's going to miss WrestleMania, and it's already the fact that,
that WrestleMania is turning into the MASH unit?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
The card looks...
Well, you're saying, wow. I mean, look at the litany of injuries that there are.
Yeah.
I'm finding a colorful way to explain it, but it's true. WWE hasn't just gotten bitten by the injury bug. They've gotten an injury infestation.
It's an epidemic, really.
And, a lot of talented guys who could, be in a, great position, post-Mania if they, were to compete. But, due to the injury, it's, not
if nothing else, that it builds intrigue for down the road so you don't have that kind of lull as football fans tend to have after the Super Bowl, where for the month of February they're just kind of in a haze, not sure what exactly to do.
The thing is, though, the good thing is I still have faith in this WrestleMania because they're still, say what you will, they're still going to try their hardest to tear the house down, and that's all you can really ask. It's, at this point in WrestleMania, they can't, it's almost like they can't afford to have a bad Mania anymore. So you really know they're going to try and pull out all the stops because it's WrestleMania.
Exactly, because it's WrestleMania. Yeah, it most certainly is. And I was going to say, we could get into it but maybe a little bit later we'll get into the lineup for those who haven't been paying attention. 8 matches set up for the card. We'll get into that a little bit later, but looking to the here and now, tonight, another night of amazing action here at the MFPW Arena at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey, which is where we're broadcasting from right now. You can see matches set up such as the Freak Beast, Nick Camarado, taking on Shaheem Ali. Also a 4-way tag team #1 contenders match. That's a lot just to say. You can only imagine what the action's going to be like. Between the Bloodbound Warriors, the Down Boys, South Philly's Finest, and the Real Life Heels. And as if that wasn't enough, the winner takes on the tag team champions Paid in Full later in the night.
Yeah, they had a shocking upset win. Well, quite before March Madness even started, we had an upset win for the tag titles.
Yeah, I think Paid in Full definitely busted a lot of brackets here at the Monster Factory,
Totally.
Here at the MFPW, without question. Also in a rematch from the last event, I believe scheduled newcomer Cody Vance challenging former heavyweight champion Clutch Adams. That should be interesting, to say the least. And speaking of titles, 2 others are on the line. The heated feud between the girls champion of the MFPW, Deonna Purrazzo, taking on the MV, Miranda Vanette, easy for me to say.
It's been quite a heated rivalry, to say the least.
Here we go. I'm going to shatter the fourth wall again. Hey, Cole Cabana, how are you doing? This is what happens when I have a peanut butter sandwich right before getting on the air, because now it's sticking to the roof of my mouth and my words aren't sounding good.
Well, at least there's not a dog around. Never know.
True, dogs do like peanut butter, absolutely.
And we're going to leave it at that.
Also, LSG, Leon St. Giovanni, finally getting his supersonic title shot against Mikey Webb. All this and much more at the MFPW, presented by the world-famous Monster Factory here at 541 Manto Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Make sure to check out the MFPW and all other things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Also at monsterfactory.org. Plus, you can check out past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com. Fantastic stuff here. So, I was going to say, probably a little early to take care of some business, but maybe we should, and that'll give us a longer second segment to get into some of the subtle nuances of being a referee. And John here can kind of tell his story of how he got into this whole crazy refereeing thing.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll go ahead and send it back to the studio. We'll send it back to Ted Efaw, who is turning the dials and pushing the buttons and keeping us on air and making sure that I don't say anything too terribly stupid, although that's probably the most daunting task of all of those things. I can hear Ted both laughing and probably nodding in agreement back in the studio. He'll probably tell me that over the commercial break, too. So we'll send it back to Ted, and we'll come back and talk about a lot of other news and other things, and we've got a lot to talk with John Guzzardo about here. Plus, you never know who else is going to pop up. Maybe Bender will hop back on the microphone here. John is shaking his head. I don't know if that's just shaking his head in disgust, or if that's a no, please don't, or we'll
little bit of everything.
A little bit of
yeah.
For those who don't know, the long-standing, we'll call it friendly feud between Mr. Guzzardo and Bender has been well documented, and I'm sure you can check out a lot of that at the mfnetwork.com as well. Just for some funsies, some kicks and giggles, as it were, and other things that I can colorfully say without saying things so colorfully that I get in trouble. Painting a picture with words. That's part of what we do here on Pro Wrestling Weekly, here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so he might have...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. Gonna break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
One thing it is fun, though, well, not just controversy, but Pro Wrestling Weekly. And it's where we are here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Welcome back. Fearon Derry here alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro, doing what he does best, drawing.
No, that's not fair.
As in bringing people in, like drawing in that regard.
I was waiting for you to introduce our other guest, and then I was going to start talking.
Okay. I'm just, all right, fine. Also alongside the MFPW official John Guzzardo, who's joining us here.
That would be me.
That would be
Hello.
you. Yeah, I love how you're waving to the radio audience.
Yeah, totally.
Because they can absolutely see what's going. I mean, it's not like we have the periscope up, and you could wave in that regard.
Yeah, but there's like radio waves. They like transfer.
I'm not sure that's how
He's
it
got
works.
puns.
Oh, wow.
I love it. Radio waves. I see what you did there. He's a natural, folks.
It really is.
Far from it.
Nothing gets by him, and that's why he's a referee. So, what got you? What helped you become, or I guess, how did you become a referee? I guess that's probably the best way to. Or what got you into this crazy thing known as professional wrestling?
Well, the crazy thing would be, I've been a fan of professional wrestling all my life. I remember watching. Challenge and WWF Superstars on Saturday, and then
Wrestling Challenge.
Yeah, primetime wrestling. It's very intriguing. It pulled me in, and pretty much I was 21 and I decided to start training. I became a wrestler. I wasn't all that great as a wrestler. I ended up hurting my neck, and I didn't do much between 2011 and 2013, but when I was in Arizona in December 2013, I made my referee debut. And this past April, I moved back to the East Coast, started training with the world-famous Monster Factory, and I have gotten much better at doing my job in the ring, and yeah, I love it.
Now, I'm going to rewind just a little bit here, and I know I'm going to put you on the spot, and you know exactly where I'm going with this, and that's why you're grinning and worrying a little bit here. But as a wrestler, I know the answer to this, but this is for the listening audience. What was your character name?
Oh boy, my character name happened to be a Magnum XL. Whoop whoop.
Magnum XL.
Yeah.
And I joke a little bit about that because ages ago, unbeknownst to either of us at the time, you had wrestled on a card in which I was the announcer for.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Actually, in the station's backyard in Fairless Hills there.
Sure enough, at the Fraternal Order of Eagle Hall.
Yep, right on Trenton Road there. So I'm sure you can. Well, the irony of the character name of Magnum XL is you are how tall?
I am 5'2.5".
That half inch makes all the difference.
Totally. I gotta make the most of it.
At over there.
I'm not snickering at anything. Nothing. Okay. It's not snickering at anything. Fearon, I'm fine. Completely fine.
I'm sure you are. You're such a Richard. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I got it.
Nothing gets by this referee.
I got it.
I'm telling you. All right. So what was the biggest transition that you had as far as changing from being a wrestler to being a referee? Like, what was the biggest or the most daunting task? What was the biggest thing you had to overcome?
With my character, Magnum XL, I was a little cocky, and the hard part was being when you're in the ring, as my character, fans would yell something at me, and I snap right back, with something witty. But the thing now is, as a pro wrestling official, is when people yell stuff or anything, I can't react. And, I hate being quiet. And, I really do.
I feel your pain.
I really do. Bet.
Our listening audience is well aware of that.
And, it might sound a little selfish of me, but one of the reasons I wanted to be a professional wrestler was because I like the attention. And when I was a wrestler, the attention is on you. But now as a referee, I'm in the background.
You're in the center you're in the center of things, but in the background at the same time.
Yeah, totally. And as I said, that's why now at the MFPW, when we do our post-show, stuff,
the after show events, yes.
Yeah, and if the opportunity comes about, I like to come out and have a little bit of fun. I did.
That's your sticking.
Yeah, the last event, I did a horrible, worm dance, which I ended up calling the beluga.
Emulating, attempting to emulate Scotty 2 Hottie's worm from back in the Attitude Era days of the WWE.
Yeah, instead I kind of look like a beach whale flopping.
And that is the tale behind the nickname of Beluga.
Pretty much.
It's right. Well, I was going to say, you never know where these nicknames are going to come from. Between Beluga, Bender,
Twitch.
Well, in your case, it's kind of obvious, but
for Beluga, I have to credit the Red Scorpion Mark Hazel for that. So yeah,
your nickname got scorpified.
Yeah. We were just out, and he told me, "You look like a dolphin," or some kind of whale. And then Danny Cage was right there, and he Googled it, and then sure enough, a beluga. And ever since
then, the nickname has stuck.
Yep. So,
but that's kind of more of a backstage nickname. It's not like you're out there as a Monster Factory or the MFPW official John Beluga Guzzardo.
Yeah. Oh God, please no.
Oh goodness! I'm looking here at the Facebook feedback with our WBCB Pro Wrestling Weekly Facebook fan page. John from Northeast Philly putting up a picture from Futurama, asking someone say my name, referring to the character who shares a name with our lovable, green casted at the moment superstar here at the MFPW, who has graced the airwaves a couple of weeks ago. Bender? Yeah, okay. He was staring at me blankly like, what is he talking about? No, or he's trying to not react and not, yeah. I don't know. Just shake a fist angrily at me or something if I say something stupid.
So John, what are some of the responsibilities of a ref besides, counting the 1, 2, 3?
Oh, geez. Pretty much you got to maintain the order. Even when the action falls out to the ring, fans want to get up close and pat them on the back. But I understand. They want to get close, but you got to separate yourself. The men or women are brawling on the outside. They could end up catching a back fist on accident. In the ring, I got to do my duties and check for submission, make sure there's no hair pulling, which wow, I can't, multiple times at night I'm yelling at people to stop pulling the hair, joking, corner, in the corner, a lot of work, and you actually get a good workout when you officiate 4 or 5 matches a night. You get a good workout in there.
True. It is very strenuous to maintain order when it comes to dealing with guys and in a couple of cases, girls who might be bigger than you are.
Yeah. Vicious competitors.
I got to give a lot of credit to Deanna and the MV for their half-hour time limit draw. They kept me on my toes for that entire match. I felt like I definitely lost a couple pounds, and a lot of credit to them too for going to a half-hour draw. You don't see that a lot, and especially with women. I feel like they set a new standard.
Precedent, as it were.
They had a great match. It really was.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
And looking forward to a lot more of that, as later tonight you'll see the rematch between those two aforementioned ladies, the girls champion of the MFPW, Deanna Perrazzo, and the MB, Miranda Vernette. Also, LSG, Leon St. Giovanni, getting his supersonic title shot against Mikey Webb.
Two highly talented guys right there, too.
Yeah, I mean, LSG fresh off of his run at the top prospect tournament with Ring of Honor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, been a lot of Monster Factory, the MFPW representation with Ring of Honor as of late.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of Ring of Honor representation in the MFPW, as Rhett Titus will be in action tonight at the MFPW.
Yes, he will. That's
one half of the All Night Express.
Yeah, teaming up with Major McClendon, I believe.
Okay, that I was gonna say that is something that I have not heard. So you're giving a little breaking.
No, I saw it on the Facebook. If it's on Facebook, it's official.
If it's on Facebook, it's official.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true.
Totally.
That's usually how that goes. That's what I get for trying to squeeze in a couple hours of sleep instead of because I had to be at BCB early this morning, and I was here last night as well. So it's either that or fall asleep at the wheel or something like that.
Don't do that. Very dangerous.
Exactly.
I would know.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us in this industry would. Alrighty, let's see. Looking at the order of things here. Looking at we're gonna talk a little bit more with John here, but as I've broken the fourth wall on a couple of occasions, we're actually going to take a roughly 60-second break, sending it back to the studio and Ted Efaw to tell you about a little thing coming up to the local listening area, courtesy of our friends over at WWE in roughly a week from now. Go ahead and take it, Ted.
Trenton, WWE is about to take over as WWE VIP Experience presents WWE Live Road to WrestleMania. Back in 2016, Saturday night, March 26th at Sun National Bank Center. Anything can happen just 1 week away from WrestleMania. You'll see the world's largest athlete, The Big Show.
I'm 7'2", I'm 500 pounds.
One-on-one with the new face of fear, Bray Wyatt.
You're already lost.
Then,
I am more man than you ever will be.
Alberto Del Rio challenges Kalisto for the U.S. Championship. All this and more on a special Daniel Bryan night.
Yes!
Saturday night, March 26th at Sun National Bank Center. It's the best value in entertainment. Tickets start at just $15. Don't wait. Great seats are available now at the box office and ComcastTix.com.
There you have it. Should be a fun night next week at the Sun Bank Arena, or the Sun Bank Center in Trenton, as WWE is going to be there. Not too far away from WrestleMania, only 8 days prior.
Ugh. I'm excited, man. WrestleMania, you just get that springtime, early springtime feeling. You always know it's right around the corner.
Best time of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, usually like this time of year for another reason there.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
Birthdays. Yes.
Yeah,
Birthday
I was gonna say we'll get a little bit more into that closer to the end of the show.
Well, there's.
Or we can get okay.
There's no need. You've already plugged it like twice.
I tend to sneak these things in. It's what I do.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, as much as I've been chiding you and giving you all kinds of crap over the course of the last 2.5 years, a milestone birthday for you yesterday.
Yes.
All of my verbal abuse over the air can no longer be considered child abuse.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Wait, how old are you now?
18.
Huh, I don't know if I could count that high, but, you know.
True. You only have to go to 10 as far as a count out outside the ring.
This isn't the Ring of Honor stuff. You don't need to do a 20 count.
Yeah, or Lucha Libre, too, 20 count. But then counting to 20 in Spanish, that's a challenge.
Oh, you have to count you had to count to 20 in Spanish when you. Yeah, you were telling me about this. You did ref Lucha Libre shows in Arizona.
I sure did, and that plenty of fun. I know enough, and I could go in Spanish from 1 to 10, but in the higher numbers, I know Italian, so I just started, I would go from diez to undici, dodici, in Italian.
That's because it's a similar language to an extent. But, was there...
What are you going, Cesaro here? I mean, going multiple languages?
Yeah.
I mean, you have his hairline, so it's understandable.
Oh, you had to go there.
Is there a difference, like the atmosphere? How different is it, with a show like the MFPW as opposed to a show like a Lucha Libre? What kind of difference is it atmosphere-wise?
It's how can I compare the two?
Is it high energy? Is it fast-paced?
It's fast-paced, very high energy. The psychology is a little different as well. I would say very different, compared to the traditional American style of professional wrestling. And the concessions are different too. So, very, different product. Very entertaining as well too.
I was gonna say, by all means, elaborate on the concessions. Where
I wanna.
Well, here at the world famous Monster Factory at the MFPW Arena, we have pizza and pretzels,
occasionally chips as well.
Occasionally, but then at a Lucha Libre show, it'll be nachos and like Jarritos soda. Yeah.
Never heard of that kind of soda.
Yeah. Well, it's the J makes the H sound, so it would be like in American you would pronounce it Jarritos. So,
get me some of that there Jarrito soda.
Yeah,
a lot of flavors. Lime, pineapple, strawberry.
Wow, it's always
strawberry soda.
No doubt.
Funny thing about wrestling concessions, I had my old soccer.
I'm just familiar with grape soda, but that's just me.
Okay. My soccer coach.
What? It's delicious. You mean to tell me you've never had it?
Yes, I have.
Or is it just me? Okay,
no, it's very good.
Are you a crush or like a Welsh? Yeah, like
I'm more of a crush guy, brah.
There you go.
So yeah, my old soccer coach was telling me about, he grew up in Frankfurt and Philadelphia, and he used to always go to the ECW shows, and how pretty much it was almost like you would order a pizza and they would pretty much just pass the box around in the crowd and be like, you ordered 2 slices, here you go. It's always funny to see how concessions work in wrestling.
I wouldn't trust that.
Well, now the 2300 arena now is a concession stand.
Yeah. They do. So.
Yeah, true. You don't know where a lot of those hands passing those pizzas around have been. Or in worst case, in some cases, you probably do.
Yeah, and that's all we're going to have to say about that, to quote Forrest Gump. But
that is all you have to say about that. Go ahead.
But speaking of ECW, though, a certain former owner and executive producer of ECW signed a deal with Yahoo Sports.
You're improving so much on your segues.
Well, thank you very much.
It is adorable.
Thank you. Paul Heyman has signed a deal with Yahoo Sports to provide exclusive content through his Heyman Hustle website to Yahoo's Turnstile blog. Yahoo Studios will produce a day in the life of the Advocate video series on Heyman. That seems like a lot of fun. It's going to be an interesting series to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm impressed. You're getting better at your cold reads.
Thank you.
Or did you actually, prep that one ahead of time?
Not really. I just decided to just go with it.
You just decided to go with it?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Color me impressed.
And that's all we're going to have to say about that.
Man, you're saying a lot and a little at the same time.
Yes, I am.
How exactly that works here. Oh, mercy.
So, another question. How many, you obviously worked, reffed a lot of shows in the independents, stuff like that. Were there any, notable names you managed to ref in your tenure in Arizona or even here at the Monster Factory?
Yeah, even, here at the Monster Factory, I've had the pleasure of refereeing. Not every experience has been a positive one because I've had the pleasure of refereeing Abyss, and except the last time I caught a chair to the head, which didn't feel too well. And
I bet it didn't feel too good.
Yeah, no, Cliff Compton, Blue Meanie, Matthew Riddle, Real Life Heels, they're very, very talented. In Arizona, I got to work with Chris Sabin, Manic. I did end up on the receiving end of a cradle shock. That didn't feel that great, but got to ref with a lot of cool people, a lot of good matches.
It really is great about how this business can really bring people together, and you get to meet so many awesome people. It really just brings it's very unique.
Yeah,
I see it a lot of places.
Yeah, the professional wrestling, you meet a lot of people from all different walks of life. Everybody has a different story about how they came up, and got to where they're at.
Yeah.
Most certainly. We're speaking with official for the MFPW, John Guzzardo, in case you're just tuning in here. We are live at the MFPW Arena, gearing up for the big event coming up later tonight. Doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. And, man, is there going to be a lot of action. Definitely looking forward to that. Something else I'm looking forward to, because, we're about at the point where we got to take care of that. I'll tell you about my friends over at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Today is a Firkin Awesome Saturday. That's right. This afternoon, the boys at B-Gob will be tapping a Firkin of Midnight Pale Ale.
Not to be confused with Merkin.
Yeah, definitely not to be confused with Merkin or...
American
or... Yes. Okay. Or Lucas losing his mind over here. As far as what else is on tap at the Broken Goblet, well, 7 of their other delicious brews are available, including the newest edition of Bubba's Tea Bag, an American Pale Ale brewed with cinnamon plum tea. I don't even know if I want to know. Okay. Plus, there's their Angry Troll Amber Ale, Yin Yang Oatmeal Stout, Impact IPA.
Also known as the Bender Special, the Angry Troll.
Angry Troll. Oh, goodness. See, I told you there was a friendly feud going on between the two of them here. And I was going to say, I think on the other side of our next time out, we might have to get Bender on here to politely and cleanly retort. If he's so... Wow, the grimace that just went in my direction. If looks could kill, Lucas would be the new host solo of Pro Wrestling Weekly.
That's not good. I wouldn't have the time to be able to look up all these notes and interesting stories. And
you wouldn't be able to do all the show prep that I usually do, you mean?
No. I've gotten a lot better, but I'm usually just a talking head. I've helped set up the remote. I don't know how to work the board that much. I need you to help run this show because I would be lost. So
I'm dropping the heck out of that. That is definitely going to be a drop for later.
Good on you, Fearon. Good on you.
That is good on me. So, yes, the Angry Troll Amber Ale, or as apparently John is calling it, the Bender Brew. Yin Yang Oatmeal Stout, Impact IPA, Under Her Spell Saison, just to name a few. All the reason to head on over to the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Going to take things back to the studio for Ted Efaw. Going to take care of our final time out here. Going to come back, talk a little bit more news and notes. We're here with official for the MFPW, John Guzzardo. Also hovering around the table is Bender. We'll see if we can get a headset on him on the other side here. Plus, Twitch's favorite segment, birthdays, coming up as well. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, March 19. On this date in 1995, WCW held its uncensored pay-per-view. In the main event, Hulk Hogan defeated Vader in a leather strap match. On this date in 2001, WWF Monday Night Raw aired live from Albany, New York. In the main event, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, and William Regal defeated Chris Jericho and The Rock in a handicap tag team match. On this date in 2003, the NWA TNA held its weekly pay-per-view number 36. In the main event, Raven defeated AJ Styles in a ladder match. On this date in 2007, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Indianapolis, Indiana. In the main event, John Cena defeated Chris Benoit. This has been Today in Wrestling History, March 19. Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas DeSangro. We are live at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey, gearing up for the huge MFPW event going on later tonight. Doors open at 6. The action starts at 7. I mean, some of the stuff going on, I believe those who have bought front row tickets, I believe, have a chance to win tickets to a Flyers game with a lot of the superstars and other personnel here at the MFPW coming up. So that should be interesting to say the least. So there you go. Get a little chance to win something. Plus, there's some other prizes that will be given away over the course of the event tonight. A lot of stuff that Danny Cage is putting out there and doing a fantastic job, a bang-up job, to say the least, doing so.
Oh, yeah. He works hard. Definitely does a good job here. Great
and
job.
has a lot of ideas, a lot of savvy ideas, to say the least. And also alongside, we have John Guzzardo, one of the officials of the MFPW, as well as on the microphone, one of the superstars here of the MFPW, currently on the shelf, unfortunately, and we'll get into that in a little bit as well. Bender with us here, who is ready, I'm sure, to retort after some of the lines that were thrown his way. Bender, welcome back to the program here.
Thank you. Just let me just get this out of the way. No stupid questions about this. I have heard them already. I'm getting really...
About the cast, okay.
Yes.
Well, you're pointing at the cast, and because it's radio, I have to describe what it is that you're pointing at, so that way the listening audience knows what's going on.
Well, what exactly counts as a stupid question?
One that Lucas asks?
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, how did you injure your hand? I don't think is a stupid question.
That's true. Well, I was training one night, and I attempted a top rope drop kick, and well, I for some reason, out of instinct, I put my hand down when I landed, and which is what they teach you not to do. But they also teach you to make your body do things that it doesn't want to do.
So then, if they told you not to,
it's just
put your hand out, then why'd you put your hand out? It just doesn't make sense.
Well,
natural instinct.
Yeah, it's natural instinct, Twitch. It's, you want to know it's hard to get over that.
Yeah, when you slip on the ice, in the winter. I mean, it actually Blue Meanie had that happen to him, where he's somebody who has taken quite a bit of falls over the course of his career, and what can I say? He braced himself falling and ended up injuring his wrist and was on the shelf for a few months because just merely from an injury, I guess out on the ice, shoveling snow, something like that.
Yeah, but this is completely different. I mean, like he.
In both cases, they were instinctual.
Well, yeah, but Meanies was slipping on ice. I mean, this was just doing a simple drop kick. I just don't understand how.
Look, you don't got to understand. It happened. I'm frustrated with it, so let's just leave it at that. Okay, Twitch?
I'm not sure I want to leave it at that. I just really don't.
Boy.
I don't get it.
What's not to get? I did.
Like, how does it feel that you're going to be on the shelf for this long, Bender?
I'm infuriated.
How infuriated are you? You mad? Upset?
Yeah,
How does it feel to know you're not going to be able on the Monster Factory shows for quite a while?
Okay, you know what? I've about had enough of you. So why don't you be quiet and let the adults talk?
Guys,
I am technically an adult.
Yeah. Legally,
for a day
not.
and a half.
Yeah, legally, not mentally.
Mentally, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's put it this way. I'm mature enough to know not to put my hand out to stop myself from doing a drop kick.
Good. How many drop kicks have you done? 0.
At least I do them the right way.
How can you do them the right way if you've never done them before? You idiot.
Because I know how to do them if they told me not how to do it the right way.
I was gonna say, do we need to get John Guzzardo in here to separate these two? What's going on here? You're getting a little work early here.
Someone might have to step in because
You're what? You're mad? Upset? Yeah, I would be too if I knew that I already had a...
Oh my God!
Wow,
you guys gotta calm down, for real.
No, he just needs to be quiet.
He turns 18 and all of a sudden he gets a pair of ponies.
All of a sudden he's a big tough guy. Yeah.
Well, that is the truth. At least I'd be able to work through a hand injury.
At least I don't look like Steve Smith.
At least I don't...
Yeah. Obviously, none of you can see. This kid looks like Steve Smith on American Dad.
It's a lot better looking than the Hobbit.
Oh
boy!
My God, this is ridiculous. A day and a half as a man, and he gets a pair.
Oh, all right. Oh, I already had that pair.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Tucked up inside of you.
I was gonna say, John is losing his mind over here, guys. Trying to give him the cutoff signal.
Yeah, you guys got to calm it down. All right,
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got Ted Efaw in the studio, probably sweating bullets at the moment here.
I'm not in gear either. I'm not wearing my stripes.
I'm just gonna say this right now. I think you're lucky that you got your hand injured because I don't really think you were. Yeah, I mean you were on a pretty bad losing streak. I think it's better that you had your hand injured anyway.
Lucas, what? What is that into you?
All right.
Whoa.
Bender.
Calm down,
let's have cooler heads prevail
I'm just
here.
an advocate. I'm just an advocate.
You're just a moron is what you are.
All right.
If you don't like it, you can
It's
leave.
kind of hard to disagree.
Now I really can't wait till this comes off. I'm going to drag you from the concession stand into that ring, and I'm going to teach you what it means to be a man.
Okay.
All right.
You know what? I don't think I like being talked to that way. I think if you don't like it, you should probably leave.
You get talked to like that by me on a weekly basis. What are you kidding me?
I may have this castle, but I'm still a better athlete than you'll ever be. That's for sure.
All right, guys.
Well, sure, you can jump over the top rope.
Calm it down.
Yeah, he can't.
All right.
All right, yeah. Let's. I feel like Wade Barrett. Can we have some decorum, please? Trying to throw some jokes in here to get this back to a.
I feel like Butthead telling Beavis to settle down, Beavis. Like, that's how I feel right now.
I was gonna say, without the glasses, I think Lucas could
totally.
I was gonna say if he gets the hair, bleaches it a little blonde, maybe gets a little bit higher.
You're right. That was uncalled for me, and I'm sorry, Bender. I'm sorry about you and your useless hand. So,
you know what? I'm done. Yeah, have a fun radio show, guys.
Wow, Bender getting up and storming off the radio set here. What? Wow. Twitch, what have you done?
All right.
Oh, God.
What have you wrought?
You understand how horrible of a person he is to all these fans at the Monster Factory? I think it's time he deserved a taste of his own medicine.
Well, that's a turn.
Yeah. So, John, what upcoming events do you have? I know that you're going to be refereeing here tonight at the MFPW, but where else can the folks check you out?
All right. Well, like you said, tonight we're live here in Paulsboro, New Jersey, for the MFPW at 541 Manchester Ave. Tomorrow night I will be at Evolve 57 in Brooklyn, New York. Next Saturday, I will be with Keystone Pro Wrestling out in Lancaster. And then so far for April, all I have lined up so far is the MFPW on April 2nd, the day before WrestleMania. And then again, April 16th, and then again as well, April 30th, here at the MFPW Arena in Paulsboro.
3 shows in the month of April.
Yeah.
So that means we'll be spending a lot more time down here, and Twitch will be causing even more trouble, apparently, than he already...
I didn't cause any trouble. It was just desserts, he just...
Oh, what? I'm going to get you in trouble and you didn't even do anything?
No, I did plenty. No, I did plenty, but it was well justified, I feel.
Where's the merit? All commentators heard here on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Very well, Fearon. Do you have like a touchdown?
No, I was gonna say I'd like to keep my job, so I'm not gonna. I'm surprised I was able to get away with that. Although, for all I know, Ted might have dumped out of the back of the station. I have no idea. All right, we only have a couple of minutes left here. The time just flew on by. Got to quickly let you know about our friends over at George's Cards and Collectibles. They've got the legends in sports and entertainment, including a couple of wrestler signing events. Saturday, April 2nd from 5 to 7 p.m. at George's in the Chamonix Mall. Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Beefer!
Yes, Beefer, for the OSW fans out there. Also, Saturday, April 30th from 12 to 2 at the Neshaminy Mall store. WWE Hall of Famer Coco Beware. The Birdman's going to be in the house. And for hockey fans, Flyers Stanley Cup champion Dave the Hammer Schultz. Schultz will be over there, on Saturday, April 16th from 1 to 2 at the Neshaminy Mall Sports Cards and Collectibles Show. George's Cards and Collectibles, the leading collectibles store in the tri-state area for over 20 years. 3 locations, their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, as well as in the Willow Grove Park Mall and the Chamonix Mall in the movie theater wing. Get the latest on George's Cards and Collectibles at their website, georgescollectibles.com, as well as through George's Cards and Collectibles on Facebook. We literally have like a minute left, so time for a quick round of birthdays. All right, I got 3 of them for you. On this date in 1962, Demetrius Corderis was born. How ironic with John Guzzardo here, the former longtime WWE referee, having spent 22 years from 1987 to 2009, turns 54 today.
Congratulations.
See how that all kind of links in? On this date in 1983, Matthew Joseph Corkland was born, the former WWE Tag Team Champion and one half of the current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, known both as Evan Bourne and Matt Sydal, turns 33 today.
Oh, yeah. Him and Ricochet have been doing a heck of a job in Japan.
And, you're going to love this one, Twitch. This is right up your alley. On this date in 1987, April Jeanette Mendez was born. The former 3-time WWE Divas champion and longtime heartthrob of one Lucas Twitch DeSangro, known as AJ Lee, turns 29 today.
Thanks, Fearon.
Mrs. Phil CM Punk Brooks.
Thanks, Fearon. Thanks for reminding me.
That's what you get for starting trouble with Bender. You get for creating chaos and disorder in my show. So in order
the thing about chaos, Fearon, it's fair.
Alongside the Joker, Twitch DeSangro here. Thank you again to John Guzzardo. Thank you again to Bender, wherever he stormed off to. And thanks to Ted Efaw back in the studio. We'll be back in studio next week for a special look back at the final episode of Monday Nitro, which will have occurred 15 years to the day earlier next week. Should be a fun time. For now, play us out, Nutsy.
1 o'clock and all's well.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBCB 11.